Every 4th of July, we celebrate the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And we play baseball. And for the Cleveland Indians, they have the 5th best winning percentage on the 4th of July of all American League teams. But on the road, the Indians haven't won a 4th of July game in 45 years. Will that change tonight here in Kansas City? Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. You've got to go back to 1973, the last time the Indians won a road game on Independence Day. That predates Rick Manning's Major League career. That's how long ago it was.
That's old.
But if the Indians have hopes of winning on the 4th of July, sweeping the series, and finishing a 5-4 road trip if they get the win, chances are they need to load the bases because they've been a juggernaut in those situations.
It truly has been a remarkable year for the Indians when it comes to the bags juiced. I'll tell you what, in this series they've had back-to-back grand slams, 2 different nights, 1 swing, 4 runs, and nobody in baseball has been any better than the Cleveland Indians. When you look at their batting average, they're a tick under 400, 397 batting average, 8 grand slams. Now, the Cincinnati Reds have 9, and they've had 2 pitchers that hit grand slams for them, but 4 of their 8 grand slams have given them the lead. They also have hit 10 doubles. Their slugging percentage up there, you're right. When you get the bases loaded, I don't know what it is, but it's something that's very contagious.
And we've got a pitching battle of Trevors tonight. Trevor Bauer for the Indians. Trevor Oakes will go for Kansas City. We'll be back with tonight's first pitch. We'll check in with Andre Knott. Alan Jensen will join us from the studio when we come back. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Made in Ohio, Ohio proud. City as the Indians and the Royals celebrate the 4th of July with the series finale as the Indians go for a 3-game sweep. Time now for our Hear Right sounds of the game. Andre Knott had a chance to catch up with some members of the ball club to get their thoughts on how being a Major League Baseball player intersects with Independence Day.
They correlate 4th of July with baseball, man, so it's cool that, we get to be out here playing on the nation's birthday, but, at the same time, you look back at all your buddies are back home on the beach and stuff like that, so you're a little jealous of that, but I think it's cool being on the ballpark.
I've never not been, and it's funny, we were coming home yesterday, or in San Francisco, going over the bridge, and Carl, I looked at each other and said, people were on sailboats, and I was like, we're going to the ballpark. That's what we do. I don't know anything different. I love the idea that there'll be a lot of people, there'll be fireworks after the game, things like that. I just may be associated with baseball.
My first year in the big leagues is my first 4th of July playing on a big league stadium. We were in D.C., nation's capital on the nation's birthday, so that was pretty cool. Got to see the fireworks there and then go to the fireworks at the National Mall there, so that was probably my best memory.
I think my best day was probably Toronto. 4th of July, I was 1 for 4 of the walk. Pretty good day.
I remember a really good one was in Akron. I get a pitch on the 4th of July, had a pretty good outing, and we were a pretty close group there, and it was pretty fun. We all sat in the outfield together with all our families and just kind of hung out in the field for a few hours watching fireworks, and even after just laying out in the grass, and that was some good memories.
One that I can remember on the baseball field was back in summer ball in college in '05. In the New England Collegiate League, we were fortunate enough to play the Team USA team that was traveling around with the really good college players. We weren't good enough to be on that team, but it was a really cool experience because it was a packed house right in downtown Newport, Rhode Island, and we ended up in a tie game with them after 9 innings, so we didn't even go 10. But so it was a cool experience, and seeing all those guys now, pretty much all of them have either been big leaguers or still playing in the big leagues.
I think one of my biggest memories is obviously playing in the summer Cape Cod League and summer ball in college and things like that. I think those are the more fonded memories that I had where I really enjoyed myself. I was just playing the game to play the game, just trying to get better. Not really anything about it, just enjoying the 4th of July, being in the pool in the morning and then going to the baseball field, taking some batting practice, playing your game, and then going to see some fireworks.
One thing my family and I did last year was actually use the next day. I think we had July 5th off also, so we did our own family 4th of July celebration because it is a time for the families to celebrate. So I was fortunate enough that my wife planned that and not have to do anything. But so yeah, it's great for the fans. Obviously, we'll get a big crowd out here tonight, and hopefully when we get back on Thursday, I can celebrate it with my family again.
Pan out the camera. Party at Dan's tomorrow night, everybody. We'll be
Thursday morning. Thursday morning.
No, we don't get in on Thursday morning. Thursday night at Dan's. Happy 4th of July.
The Night Owl is talking.
That's right.
My
what about you?
My fondest memory, it'd have to be Old Cleveland Stadium, playing the Yankees. We always seemed to play them over the 4th of July weekend, about 72,000 packing that house, and it was a fun time.
All right, we'll be back. Hopefully some new 4th of July memories will be made tonight here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. At 27, and the Royals come in 25-60 on the year. Let's take a look at our storylines tonight. They're brought to you by Wayside Furniture. It's been a Kansas City masterpiece for Francisco Lindor this year. He's hit .483 against the Royals with 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. And What do you think, Trevor Bauer? Is he headed for the All-Star game? Potentially. I mean, the record may not be glamorous, but the
They
numbers.
don't care about the wins or losses anymore. They care about ERA, strikeouts, and innings.
And he got a ton of great numbers in all those categories.
Absolutely. He's in the top 10 in all of those categories. Let's check out our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher. It's going to be Trevor Oakes tonight starting for Kansas City. This will be his second major league start and his 4th overall appearance. He is filling in for Ian Kennedy, who was just put on the disabled list yesterday, a left oblique strain. He was forced out of his last start, so Trevor Oakes gets the start. He's pretty much a generic pitcher, sinker, slider, nothing overpowering. Left-handers should have a good time against him tonight, and we'll see how that works out.
The Indians starting lineup for Terry Francona brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Francisco Lindor in the leadoff spot. Michael Brantley at second, then Jose Ramirez hits third. Edwin Encarnacion batting cleanup, followed by Yonder Alonso and then Jason Kipnis. Tyler Naquin will bat 7th. He's in right field. Roberto Perez catching tonight, bats 8th, and Greg Allen gets the start in center field, hitting 9th.
Let's check out the defense for Kansas City tonight. It'll be Gordon in left field, Herrera in center, Bonifacio is over in right. It'll be Dozier gets the start at third, Escobar at short, Merrifield at second, Duda is at first, Utera behind the plate.
Brian O'Nora will call the balls and strikes. Phildon Colbert, the crew chief, is down at first. C.B. Buckner at second. Chris Conroy is at third. Terry Francona and the Indians are ready to wrap up a long road trip. They are 4-4 after dropping 2 of 3 in Kansas City and then 2 of 3 in Oakland. They bounced back to win the first 2 in this series. Francisco Lindor, 4 for 8 in the series. 2 homers, including the grand slam. And Trevor Oakes' first pitch of the night, up and away, ball 1. Got a feeling Lindor could be headed to another Player of the Week.
Oh man,
honor here. He's tearing it up. Last 13 games, he's hit .350 with 20 runs scored, 17 runs batted in,
and 7 homers and 4 doubles. Yeah, he's been lights out.
Bounces it foul. Our game time temperature 92 degrees. Humid once again with a heat index that makes it feels like 100. He misses up high, full count. Three on the right side of the infield for Kansas City. And the payoff pitch is fouled right back. Well, at least here at the outset, Rick, it doesn't look like Oakes has anything really overpowering with a fastball.
No, he doesn't.
Mid to upper 80s at best, it looks like.
You may cut it. You just have to don't try and do too much. There it is, first walk of the day.
Leadoff man aboard, and Michael Brantley coming to the plate. Been a rough go for Ned Yost and the Royals. They snapped their 24-game streak last night, in which they had not had more than 9 hits in any game. But they still ended up losing.
Yeah, they had the opportunity. They had 12 hits last night.
Lindor takes off. It's a strike. Buterra's throw. Not in time. Lindor in there with a stolen base. It'll be his 11th on the year. The throw was high. Looked like it was in time. If it was on target, they probably would have had him.
It's just a high breaking ball, but he gets a hand in by the time they tag him, so they can go ahead and look at it. I don't think they'll waste it. It looked like his hand got to the bag before they tagged him, and he was called safe to begin with, so they're not even going to think about it. So they must have something on him watching video to take off on the very first pitch after the leadoff walk, and he gets himself in scoring position. 60th stolen base for the Indians. They rank 3rd in the league in that department.
Brantley rocks one fouled on the right side. Well, there can't be a lot of video, but enough to maybe at least get some scouting report on Trevor Oakes. He's pitched in 3 games this year. April 28th, May 30th, June 5th. Two-strike pitch. In off the plate. Drew Butera drawing the catching assignment here tonight, but Salvador Perez still in the lineup for Kansas City, serving as their designated hitter.
You know, they with Moustakas out, Perez has to play and get in that lineup. They need every player they can get. They are really having a tough go. Kennedy, who was supposed to start tonight, and as a matter of fact, he beat the Indians earlier this year 1-0 in Cleveland. It was against Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
So he went on the disabled list. So this is an emergency start for this young man, Trevor Oakes. His last start against the White Sox came when he was the 26th man. They had a doubleheader.
Oh, 2 pitch, or 1-2 pitch rather, rocked down the right field line. That'll get Lindor home. Brantley's on his way to second base with an RBI double, and the Indians lead it 1-0.
Right out of the chute, first 2 hitters, the Indians have a lead. This is going to be that cutter that he's throwing inside, and that's a perfect pitch for Brantley to pull. But he hits it down into the corner. So Michael gets his 20th double, gets his 48th RBI, and the Indians score their 63rd first inning run.
When the Indians score first on the year, they are 34-16. Jose Ramirez takes the ball in the dirt. You can see Oakes against Brantley. He was trying to pitch inside. But Rick, it has to be tough when you, I know even though you don't have a lot of velocity, you still have to pitch inside.
Yes, you do.
You can't get it by him in there.
That's could be a long night for you.
Ramirez sends a fly ball to center field, deep enough to get Brantley to third. He'll tag, he'll move, and the Indians have an opportunity to get another run home here with 1 down. Take another look at the Lindor steal, courtesy of StatsCast, powered by AWS.
Going in head first, and very nice. Gets down there. 3.7. And then almost takes a perfect throw, even though that was not a bad pitch to throw on by Butera. Infield coming in.
And Encarnacion sends a high fly ball left center field. Alex Gordon will give way to the center fielder Herrera. Coming home is Michael Brantley, and the Indians have a 2-0 lead as Edwin picks up his 58th RBI on the year.
Second straight night they've been able to put 2 on the board in the first.
So with 2 down, Yonder Alonso coming to the plate. Base is empty. Royals will shift 3 over to the right side. Alonso in the series 3 for 7 with a run batted in. And a ground ball to first, scooped by Lucas Duda. He'll take it himself. The Indians jump out early, a 2-0 lead, powered by Michael Brantley's 500th career run batted in.
On the starting pitcher, and Trevor looking for win number 8. Coming off a start in Oakland where he went 6 2/3, pitched a good game, 6 hits, a couple of runs, ended up taking a loss. He left trailing 2-0. The Indians got beat 3-1. But he will get the start tonight against Kansas City, where he has made this is start number 3, and he's 0-1 this year against the Royals.
All right, let's take a look at Ned Yost's starting lineup. Whit Merrifield on the leadoff spot. Rosel Herrera hits second. Salvador Perez, the DH, hitting third. Lucas Duda, Jorge Bonifacio, and Alex Gordon in the middle. Hunter Dozier, Alcides Escobar, and Drew Butera batting ninth. Trevor Bauer looks in. The line on the first pitch is swung on and hit high in the air, left center field. Greg Allen makes the catch in center. One away.
Check out the Dodge defense for the Indians. In left field, it's Brantley. Allen is in center, just making that catch. Naquin over and right. It's Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis at second, Alonso at first, and Perez doing the catching.
Rosel Herrera, 4 for 9 in the series with a double. He had a good night last night. He had a hit in each of his first 3 trips to the plate. Herrera was with the Reds earlier. The Royals claimed him off the waiver wire on June 2nd. 2 weeks later, they called him up, and he has erased on 3 pitches for out number 2. Andre.
Yes, Matt, how are you?
What is the story with the way the guys are wearing the socks? Bauer, Lindor, Kip, Herrera, who just batted.
Yeah.
One sock different than the other.
Pretty much every man gets to do what they want for the 4th of July. So every guy kind of has their own, as Lindor always tells us, he has his own swag and nobody can follow him or watch him. That's what he told everybody else. I thought Ramirez had his out yesterday. He doesn't, but basically they put the socks out and let everybody pick. Somebody had the same 2 socks. I thought I saw.
Yeah.
Tyler Naquin.
Why does everyone wear the stripe down their left leg?
I will try to find out. I don't have the rhyme or reason on that, but I know Tyler Naquin, he just went all blue. I told him you're supposed to do it the other way around, and
it's been like that all series. I was waiting for someone to put one on the right leg, but nobody did.
Look at what you're paying attention to.
Tell Ramirez to do it in between innings and go back out there.
Anybody would.
He may have his Mother's Day stuff on.
His pink stuff, yeah, he might.
And Raj had, if you remember, Raj looked like the candy cane. He had the all white and red on
right
for the first 2 games.
Okay.
I'll do some research.
Yeah,
let me look.
Just wondered. Salvador Perez 1 for 8 in the series. And a ground ball may be perfectly placed. It is. Right back through the middle. That's only the 89th hit allowed by Trevor Bauer in 114 innings of work this year.
Yeah, he's and that's a good pitch right there. That is not a bad pitch. It looked like it was off the plate. So Perez, he just hit it in the right spot. Didn't hit it all that hard, but it right area where he gets a base knock. You don't mind that, giving those up if you're a pitcher. Yeah, and out of those now 89 hits, he's only given up 5 home runs, Bauer, this year.
Pretty good pitch, just a bit high. 1-0 to Lucas Duda.
Duda tied the game up at 2 yesterday in the first inning after the Indians got on the board early.
2-run homer and a double last night for Duda. Missed inside. 2-0. You know, I was thinking you also don't mind giving up a single to a guy like Salvador Perez because it might take 3 hits to score him from first base.
It's true.
He was thrown out trying to score last night.
Well, we all know that Trevor, he's all into the exit velo and everything, how they hit it. If he has soft contact, then he can live with it.
Pops straight up. Ramirez is on the left side of the infield all by his lonesome and makes the catch to retire the side. After one, it's Cleveland 2, Kansas City nothing.
At $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today.
Jason Kipnis will lead off the second inning for Cleveland. 0 for 5 in the series opener, sat out last night's game. Takes the first pitch strike. Over his last 14 games, Kipnis has batted .300. He has scored 9, he has driven in 9 over those 14 games. One ball, 2 strikes. Inside off the glove of Butera, 2-2. Jason Kipnis this year has been a study in persistence. Hit a .178 in April, .221 in May, .266 in June. The 3-2. Just a little bit high, and it's ball 4. So 2 innings, 2 leadoff walks. Stat of the game today brought to you by Buick. Most home runs by an Indians team before the All-Star break ever. They've hit 119. 1 fewer than the 0-1 club. But they've got some work to do to catch the 2000 edition of the Indians.
Oh boy, do they ever. A lot of work. But they hit more home runs at home than they do on the road. Go home for a 10-game homestand.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. They've 62 home runs at home compared to 49 on the road.
Tyler Naquin looks at ball 1 outside. Naquin last night 1 for 3, or in the series I should say 1 for 3, couple of runs scored. He didn't start last night's game with a lefty on the mound, came in late after Brandon Geyer left the game with a knee contusion. Good news is, after Geyer fouled that ball off of his knee, he had to be helped off the field, but he was walking around the clubhouse today. He said it's bruised, it's sore, but other than that, he said he feels fine. Well, this guy's not going to be around long if this continues. It's 3-0 to Naquin.
He's throwing a lot of pitches upstairs that are really wasted pitches that they don't even have a chance to swing at.
Well, speaking of the injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk, this is what has happened here. Geyer, day-to-day. Ian Kennedy placed on the DL. He was supposed to start tonight's game. And a couple of Tigers have gone down for a Detroit club that is just reeling right now. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, you pretty much hit on everything with Brandon Geyer. He thinks he's going to be absolutely fine. He's just scared him for a minute because when you hit something off your knee like that, he said, anyone that's hit something hard like that just goes numb right away. Just one clarification, just want to make sure everybody knows Andrew Miller did not throw today. It's okay. They're waiting a day. He's going to throw at noon tomorrow because Carl Willis wants to watch it back at home in Cleveland. But everything so far sounds good for him. Okay. And Tyler Olson's pitching right now down in Columbus, so I'll have a report maybe later on tonight, or we'll have something Friday about where he's at.
Thanks, Andre. Roberto Perez waits on deck. 3-1 pitch to Naquin. Ball 4, and he's walked the first 2 in the inning.
Well, you can see he's just about 50-50. 14 balls, 15 strikes. You have to be aggressive. And I'll tell you, you really do the Indians a favor when you give them free passes because they only have 1 hit and they already have 2 runs.
Especially when you walk people at the bottom of the order, when you've got Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez lurking. Roberto Perez bunts. Gets a good bunt down. The only play is at first. And so now runners at second and third with 1 away.
Yeah, if you're going to give them base runners, they're just going to move them up and try and add on. So now Allen going to get an opportunity here. He makes his first start, and he'll be looking for his first hit with a runner in scoring position this year. He's 0 for 26, and the infield will be coming in at the cut of the grass.
Greg Allen trying to snap an 0 for 18 spell here at the big league level. Goes after the first pitch. Comes up empty. And just like that, it's 0-2.
He's staying inside on Allen. That's for sure. He's not going to give him any swinging room.
Stays inside. This time he lays off. A ball and 2 strikes. Already 33 pitches for the big right-hander from Kansas City. And Greg Allen fouls it off to stay alive. Though for comparison's sake, last night Danny Duffy made 36 pitches in the first inning alone.
That one ricocheted off the side of the leg of Butera, so the umpire's giving him a little time. Yeah, this is not the kind of well, this whole series hasn't been the kind of series you want to stay out there for any length of time and throw a 30, have a 30 pitch inning.
This becomes a very critical at bat for Trevor Oakes with the way Francisco Lindor is swinging the bat, waiting in the on-deck circle.
Yes, it does.
Center field. Herrera going back, makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Kipnis. Tagging and going to third is Naquin. 2 down, and it's 3-0 Cleveland as Greg Allen picks up his 4th RBI on the year. Second sack fly in as many innings for Cleveland.
Well, that's just a gift run right there given to them by Oakes, and they certainly will take it. Make it a 3-0 ball game. Don't have a hit in the inning, but they certainly have a run.
Well, and hey, that's a really good at bat for Greg Allen. You get down 0-2, and you're still able to get that run home from third. That's a job well done.
Yes, sir. Any way, shape, or form, get him in, get him home.
Francisco Lindor with his league-leading 75th run scored in the first inning. He also leads the league with 35 multi-hit games. Stays fair, and Duda will take it himself. The inning is over. Another run for the Tribe. They lead at 3-0 middle of the second.
And you'll pay no ticketing fees, no matter what the seats or tickets you select. The offers only last until tomorrow night at midnight. Get your tickets now at Indians.com. The fee-free promotion is presented by Discount Drug Mart.
3-0 Cleveland. Bottom of the second inning. Jorge Bonifacio, Alex Gordon, Hunter Dozier due up for Kansas City. Bonifacio 3 for 7 with a double in the series. And Trevor Bauer with the first pitch strike. Bonifacio way out in front.
Yeah, the harder you swing at that curveball, the better Trevor will like it. He took a healthy cut at it. He may get another one now that maybe bounces out of the strike zone. Back out above our head. We'd like to send out a very special happy birthday to young Miss Hadley Murphy, turning 4 today. And Hadley, Daddy told us to tell you hello, happy birthday. He'll be home tonight.
He's bringing you a snow cone home from Kansas City.
Oh, she might be waiting.
And the 1-2. He
Yes,
tried to
he
hold
did.
up, but he went around, and Roberto will flip it down to first to complete the out. 1 away here in the second.
There's the bounce out in front, way out in front of the plate. That bounced out there about a foot or two in front of the plate, but he couldn't check his swing, so he gets his second strikeout.
How old did you say Hadley is today?
4.
4. At the other end of the spectrum, in Steubenville, Ohio, Milan Milosevic celebrating his 97th birthday tonight. Happy birthday.
All right. Happy birthday to everybody out there born on this 4th of July.
Hit him. So Alex Gordon, which is something that he's excelled at in his career, being hit by pitches.
Well, this is a slider. He's trying to throw that slider down and in, but it got him just above. It looks like that protective piece that he wears above his ankle. So first, see how many batters Trevor's hit this year. That is his 7th.
Hunter Dozier taking a strike. He's 1 for 4 in the series. Did not play in the series opener, but it was in there last night.
Playing third tonight. He was at first base. He signed as a shortstop for the Royals, and now, you know, they're sort of moving around because he's a big kid. He's not going to be a shortstop at the big league level, as big as he is, so he's playing first, third. They're pretty much trying to play him everywhere.
Slow chopper, it's like a bunt. Power, no play.
Now, smart enough to realize that he was getting down the line pretty good. And even though Bauer went down with the slide to pop up and make the throw, he realized he didn't have a chance. So it really was a good decision on Bauer's part. He made a good pitch. And watch, he sees him and he, attaboy, hold on to it. Knows there's an infield single.
And with 1 out, it'll bring up Alcides Escobar. You were mentioning before wishing everybody a happy birthday that celebrates their birthday on the 4th of July. And you were saying before that George Steinbrenner was the 4th of July
Yes,
birthday.
he was.
And you guys seem to always play them at home on the 4th of July.
It used to be like that, yeah.
It seemed like it.
Yes, it did.
Well, interestingly enough, we mentioned at the top of our telecast, the Indians have not won a road game on the 4th of July since 1973.
I can't believe that.
But this is only the 12th time since 1973 they've been on the road for the 4th of July.
That was hard to believe. When you came up with that, I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me.
Fly ball right field, right at Tyler Naquin. Alex Gordon will tag at second. He'll go to third, but there are now 2 down in the inning. Back in 2006, on the 4th of July in Cleveland, against the Yankees, Travis Hafner have a day. The Indians pulverized the Yankees. 19-1, the final score in that game.
Wow, look at the faces in the dugout.
Ronnie Belliard.
I see CC,
Grady, yeah.
Victor Martinez.
2 on, 2 out now for Drew Butera. I was reading some fun facts about the 4th of July. Only one president in our history had a 4th of July birthday. That was Calvin Coolidge, the 30th president. He was born on July 4th, 1872.
You've been digging deep.
Well, I'm trying. Ironically, though, or maybe it's not irony, but 2 signers of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, both died on the 4th of July on the same day, July 4th, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
I knew we should play day games on getaway days for you.
And that's all I got. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. Drive safe. Trevor Bauer trying to work his way around a hit batter and a little squib infield hit here in the second. And it's 2 quick strikes on Drew Butera, who is 0 for his last 9 at the plate. And hitting only 147 overall this year. Runner first takes off. Roberto with a good throw down.
That's all right.
And now you can pick. Kipnis goes back to third. One hops Ramirez, throws from his knees, and the runner is safe at home. So the Royals steal a run here in the second.
Well, he was dead to rights. And in the rundown, it was done okay by Kipnis as he's going to run him back until you make the other guy commit. Now at third base he commits, and then he goes to throw, and a terrible throw. And nothing you could do. Ramirez fell backwards. Gordon comes in and gets to home plate. So it works out for the Kansas City Royals, and they get on the board. He had him, he just made a terrible throw.
Now the 1-2. I think he went. Let's see the appeal. No. Fielding Colbert, the crew chief, says he held up. So both Gordon and Dozier credited with a stolen base. And now the count goes full to the number 9 hitter, Drew Butera. Indians lead at 3-1. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 call. So Bauer gets himself out of the inning, but the Royals steal a run here in the second, and it's a 3-1 game.
On July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress met in Philadelphia to adopt the final version of the Declaration of Independence.
We go to the third inning with the Indians on top 3-1. Michael Brantley, Jose Ramirez, and Edwin Encarnacion to bat for Cleveland. Trevor Oakes has walked 3, given up just 1 hit, and already 3 runs allowed. Two balls, no strikes. Michael Brantley with that RBI double in the first gives him a hit in 5 straight games. And this is right at the shortstop with the shift on. Escobar throws him out, 1 away. Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Frankie and Hosey. Right there in the top of the leaderboard. Home runs, extra base hits, runs scored. What a tandem. And I thought it was
duo.
really a great interview Andre had with Sandy Alomar. And he asked Sandy if the way Lindor and Ramirez have played this year specifically, if they remind him of some of the guys he played with on those great mid-90s teams. And Sandy, as we commented last night, he's very forthright. He's not going to beat around the bush. He said, these guys are superstars. He said, not stars, I'm talking superstars.
Right.
And he said, still early in their career, there's a long way to go, but he said, I think they could be better than some of the guys that he played with in those mid-90s teams.
I agree with him. I mean,
because he said because they offer so much. All the skills and tool set that they both have.
Well, yes, they can do it everything. I mean, you talk about 5-tool players. That's what these guys are. And if they stay healthy, there's no doubt they're going to be around a long time.
And the other thing that he added that I found really interesting is he said they both come to the ballpark each day, and they have this never-ending quest to want to get better. And they're looking for knowledge. They're looking for anything edge they can get. Sent fouled on the right side. In other words, they're never satisfied. And that's, to me, that's the mark of the truly great players. They are never satisfied.
Right. You get 1 hit, they want 2. You get 2, they want 3. You know, and that's how the day goes. But then the next day, they're going to come back and try and do the same thing.
Popped up foul. This is playable here. And Dozier grabs it, 2 down.
You know, one of the things Sandy mentioned about always trying to get better is he says, you know, Frankie will go from talking hitting with one of the hitting coaches, looking at that night's starting pitcher. Then he'll go over to Sandy and he'll say, okay, let's go over the same film of the starting pitcher and how we can run on him. He goes, a lot of guys, he wasn't putting anybody down. He goes, a lot of guys, you know, once they get their hit, they know what the pitcher's going to throw, they're good for the day. He goes, these guys continually go from coach to coach going, all right, what else do I need to do to be ready for tonight's game?
Oh, and that's part of being a leader by example, too. You hope more guys see that and follow suit.
Well, even if you're not a base stealer, you can still go over there and ask him, all right, what is this guy, you know, where you can take an extra base if they throw one in the dirt. And you know what I'm talking about?
A la Mike Napoli.
To get yourself in the scoring position. You know, what does he like to throw in situations? Just little different things. That one was above his head, I think.
And I think Edwin was kind of dug in. He had a tough time getting out of the way.
Watch. Well, yeah, that's right above his head, man. That one there, it's hard to say that one slipped. But he had to get out of the way.
And he missed ball 4. So a 2-out walk. That's the 4th issued by Oakes. And it'll give Yonder Alonso a chance to bat here in the 3rd. Alonso, in his last 32 games, has hit .322 with 10 doubles and 24 runs batted in. Out in front of it. Strikes him out. Alonso saying, wait a minute, that ball's in the dirt.
They're looking for help. He's looking to get help, and they're saying, no, no luck.
Tito comes out. He wants to know what happened.
Third base umpire turned and looked away like he didn't see anything, and they're just looking for a little help. He's asking, just give me some help. He said he fouled it and hit,
he definitely fouled
hit the ground.
Yeah, that's.
Well, he's just asking, and the third base umpire didn't see it.
I guess they missed it.
They
Innings
did.
over. Middle of the third, 3-1 Cleveland. Tonight in the major leagues, strikeout leaders Max Scherzer, Chris Sale, Garrett Cole, and then Trevor Bauer.
Well, Bauer's up to 151, huh? Yes.
Whit Merrifield leading off here, bottom of the third.
He made it out on the first pitch to start the game in the bottom of the first, which is always nice because this is one of their best hitters in the lineup.
Big curveball and a foul back, 1-2. Merrifield riding a 6-game hitting streak coming into tonight, 10 for his last 26. Swung on and missed. He widened his strike zone, got him to chase. Fourth strikeout of the night for Trevor Bauer.
Well, that's the difference now is Trevor's getting that third pitch where he was able to get the 1-2 count. That's when he expands the hitter's strike zone. He goes with that slider going away, and that's been the biggest difference. Instead of, going deep into counts, he gets the 1-2 count and he can put hitters away because he has so many weapons.
Rosell Herrera takes a fastball inside, 1-0. Struck out his first time up. And that only took 3 pitches back in the first inning.
I want to send along congratulations, 65th wedding anniversary to Carl and Janet Bender of Cambridge.
Jammed him. Kipnis going to have to hurry. Can't get it out of the glove, and it'll be an infield hit for Herrera.
Well, let's take a look at this. He comes in, a ground ball, gets by. Kip comes in the backhand, but just doesn't make a throw. I don't know if he didn't have a grip on it or what. It'll go as a base hit.
3 hits tonight for Kansas City. 2 of them have not left the infield. And the other one was by this guy, Salvador Perez. Just a well-placed ground ball up the middle. Threw it right by him. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Pulls the curveball foul. And it's 0-2. Lays off a ball that's outside. Starting on May 27th and concluding on June the 13th, Trevor Bauer had a streak of 4 consecutive starts in which he struck out 10 or more batters. He became just the 3rd pitcher in Indians history to have a streak like that. Corey Kluber and Bob Feller, the others. Two, up and away. And so he had Perez down on the count, but he has not been able to entice him to chase yet.
No, had him down 0-2, and it's worked it back to full. I'm curious to see if they start Herrera. You know, when Perez is hot, I would say yes, there's no question, but you can swing and miss, and he can be an aggressive hitter where he may go out of the zone if he knows that hitter's running. So you can get a strike him out, throw him out here if you make a good pitch.
Herrera's off. Swing and a miss. Throw down. Throws a little bit high, but Kipnis gets the tag on him for a strike him out, throw him out, inning-ending double play.
See if they challenge this. I don't know if he got him. The tag looked like it was high.
It will end the inning.
Yes, it will.
Trevor Bauer's 5th strikeout of the night, and Roberto Perez gets the throw down, and Kipnis slaps the tag on him. Through 3-1 Cleveland. Jason Kipnis, Tyler Naquin, Roberto Perez due up for the Tribe. Kipnis with a walk and a run scored in the second. Misses low for ball one. There's a long fly ball. Deep right center field. Back is Bonifacio looking up. It's off the wall. Herrera, the center fielder, grabs it. And into second base with a leadoff double is Jason Kipnis. It's his 17th double of the year. And the Indians have had their leadoff man aboard now 3 times in 4 innings.
2 hits tonight, both doubles. He got something out over the plate to his liking. He plugged the gap in right center field, hit the base of the wall to come back. So there you go, a leadoff double. Take advantage.
Tyler Naquin with a walk his first time up. He's batted .288 against right-handed pitching this year. And that fastball just did catch the inside upper part of the strike zone. And I'm not sure if Butero was crossed up on that or what happened. Caught it rather awkwardly.
Take a look. It looked like he might have been calling for that same pitch he threw the first time up and got a fastball. You see him hide behind the glove.
Naquin rips it foul.
Hard to get. Well, no, it's not. You got a man on second base, so. I saw him talking to the umpire.
Action in the Kansas City bullpen. Right-hander Heath Philmeyer getting loose.
Yeah, the first 2 times their leadoff man has been aboard, they have brought him around to score.
I'll say this, Butero's done a really good job of trying to get Oaks through this lineup second time around. First time he looked really shaky, but second time through he's continued to make him pitch inside, and you know, the Indians still have just the 2 hits. They haven't been able to really land the knockout punch to this point.
Well, 65 pitches, 28 balls, so I mean, he just hasn't been consistent with anything. You know, he doesn't have a wipeout pitch to where he can go to and maybe get a swing and a miss. He has to stay on the edges, that is for sure.
Well, Naquin had one to hit and fouled it back. 2-2, right in the spot where he likes to pitch, down in the strike zone. Jason Kipnis at second base. Full count. Roberto Perez waits on deck.
Yeah, I don't think Ned's going to wait long. If he continues to, you know, walk people, ball behind and counts.
Naquin pops one up on a 3-2 pitch. Kipnis going to tag. I don't know if he can get to third. Let's see.
No.
He's going to stop. 1 down. We'll go back to Cleveland for a game break. Here's Al Pawlowski. Thanks, Al. Here is Roberto Perez. He was trying to bunt again, but this time I think he was just trying to maybe catch him napping.
You got a runner in scoring position, man. Drive him in. You got a 2-run lead. There's no reason to bunt. Drive him in. After you bunt, who's going to run for you, they used to say.
Nothing in 2 the count. And he strikes him out with a breaking ball. 3 pitches, 2 down. Second strikeout for Trevor Oaks.
Well, we're heading home after tonight's game with tomorrow off. Come on out Friday. The Oakland A's are coming to town. It'll be Dollar Dog Night. 10,000 fans will receive a Snap Pack cap courtesy of Subway. And it'll be a patriotic fireworks display after the ball game, all taking place Friday, July 6th. Come to the ballpark.
Be good to get home.
Yes, it will.
Indians have played so well at Progressive Field this year, 27-13. And what is very likely the last hitter for Trevor Oaks. Got a chance to get out of this inning if he can retire Greg Allen. And he will. Leadoff double does no damage. It's still 3-1 Cleveland, middle of the 4th. To Cleveland, Paul Blackburn goes for the A's, Carlos Carrasco for the Tribe. Our coverage begins with Indians Live at 6:30. Sports Time Ohio, streaming on Fox Sports Go. Swing in the Summer, presented by Click It. Check it. For Kansas City here in the 4th inning, Lucas Duda, Jorge Bonifacio, and Alex Gordon. Trevor Bauer has given up a hit in every inning, but 2 of those hits were just little weak ground balls that never left the infield. So he has been in command with 5 strikeouts. And the only run the Royals scored was due to a poor throw. They had the runner
double steal, first and third.
They had Gordon hung out to dry at third base, but Jason Kipnis' throw, as he makes the catch here, was off the mark. But let's go back to last inning when Rosel Herrera was trying to steal. Salvador Perez strikes out, the throw down in time.
Yeah, he got rid of the ball quickly. It was a little high, but still under 2 seconds, which is pretty good.
The key is getting rid of it quickly, and at times it's been a little tricky for Roberto Perez.
It really has. You talk about that, but really the transfer is just as important for Roberto. Talking to Sandy Alomar, you were with me, Matt. He says he uses a bigger glove than most catchers use. Because of that, he thinks it gets so far in the web sometimes, and he tries to not flip it out, but try to get his hand in there and get it out of there, that he was having all those issues, and he was going through that process too fast. But if you look at that catcher's glove compared to others, and maybe we'll look at this over the next few days, he's got a bigger web and a bigger glove than what most catchers use.
Yeah, Sandy was saying what happens is sometimes when he catches the ball, it rolls into that web, and so it gets a little bit deeper for him. But you see right there, he flips it. Most catchers go into the glove with their throwing hand to get the ball. He works a little flip, and sometimes that gives him problems.
Well, you can't get too quick if you're going to flip it. You've got to stay back and stay calm.
Tyler Naquin in right field makes the catch, and there are 2 down. I think, though, too, Rick, it can almost be like a hitter at the plate. You can get into a little bit of a slump with that, and then you start thinking about it. And if it gets in your head, then you're in trouble.
He went quite some time, a stretch where he did not get the ball to his hand for, I'm telling you, it was a couple of weeks. Yes, last year he was outstanding at throwing runners out. This year, not so much. Perez this year coming into tonight was 15.8%. Only caught 3 out of 19, so now he's 4 out of 20.
The 0-2. He almost went, but he held up. The 1-2. You know, that stolen base statistic can be sometimes a little misleading too. Think back in the second inning, the double steal. That's going to count against him.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything wrong.
Right, because the 2 stolen bases. Right, he made a good throw to second base. The runner stopped, and that's a designed play, by the way, as everybody should know.
Well, Alex Gordon with a little flair ends the inning. First time tonight the Royals go 1-2-3. 3-1 Cleveland. Ball is brought to you by the 2019 Kia Sorento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. By Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by your Chevy Network dealers. Visit ClickChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Fifth inning in Kansas City, and the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made as Ned DeYost will go to right-hander Heath Fillmyer. 6'1", 180-pound right-hander. Was originally a fifth-round pick of the Oakland A's 4 summers ago. And then this past off-season, in January, Dayton Moore dealt Brandon Moss, Ryan Buchter to the A's to get Heath Fillmyer and Jesse Hahn. Fillmyer, as that pitch is in the dirt for ball 1, he made his Royals Major League debut with the Royals on June 24th. And kind of an interesting debut. That goes to the backstop, so inauspicious beginning here tonight. He became the first Royals pitcher to throw at least 4 innings out of the bullpen in his Major League debut since Dusty Hughes back in '09. It's not something you see a lot of.
Well, not many relievers go 4 innings anymore. It's not like teams keep the old long man.
Lindor drives one to center, but Herrera is there to grab it. 1 away. Mid-game summary brought to you by your Toyota dealers. In the first inning, Michael Brantley, with his 500th career RBI, drove home Francisco Lindor. It was 1-0. Then a sac fly by Edwin Encarnacion made it 2-0. Then in the second inning, another sacrifice fly. This one by Greg Allen drove home Jason Kipnis. And the Royals' lone run came in the second as part of a double steal. And that's been it. 3-1. Fifth inning. Indians still have just 2 hits, both of them doubles. One hopper to Duda. 2 down. Interesting story about Fillmyer is that his plan was to be a shortstop in the major leagues. And when he was a freshman in college, it was a junior college in New Jersey, he filled in as the team's closer. He pitched 7 2/3 innings out of the bullpen, and the Rockies drafted him in the 28th round.
No kidding.
As a pitcher. And he decided to go back to school, return, moved full-time to the mound, and went 9-0 with an 0.68 ERA. And then the A's said, yeah, we like this. And they made him a 5th-round pick the next year.
7 innings, 7 1/3 coming out of college, and it was.
And the Rockies said, hey, we like what we see. Wow.
Well, he's at the big league level.
Two down here in the 5th. And Kansas City has a 3-man shift, as you see on the right side of the infield. And the outfield also swung around a bit toward right. that's going to be ball 4. 5th walk of the night for the Indians. Hey, 100% of the dollars raised for Velasano supports cancer research at Cleveland Clinic. Bike to Cure coming up July 20th, 21st, and 22nd. You can register at velasano.org. Join in the fun with fellow riders and Team Fox Sports for this year's event. It's coming up. Edwin Encarnacion, a sacrifice fly in the first, his 58th RBI on the year. Now Edwin in the hole, 0-2. Maybe because he was sort of a late transitioning player to the pitcher's mound. This comment from the A's, one of the A's scouts that saw him early on said, he's got a big arm, and once he figures out how to use it, he has a chance to be very good.
Well, yeah, you don't. If you haven't done it your whole life, you know, you're pretty much an athlete, like a lot of players are, you know. But you got to get to know the pitching aspect.
Pitch is up high, throw down, not in time. Jose Ramirez with his 16th stolen base on the year.
Had a good jump on this one. Took off, picked the right pitch. By the time Buter could get it down there, he's in easily.
Now tied with Rajay Davis for the team lead. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. No runs, no hits, one left. Halfway through, 3-1 Cleveland.
We celebrate America. One of America's most iconic treasures, the Liberty Bell rang in 1776 to call all citizens for the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence.
And we're hoping that wherever you're watching from tonight. You're enjoying your 4th of July festivities.
Let's see, an hour difference back home. It's getting just about that
Yeah.
time. Dark enough, isn't it?
It's got to be close.
It's getting close.
Light up the skies. Hunter Dozier leading off for the Royals here in the bottom of the 5th.
Dozier was credited with his stolen base in that second inning, his first career. Ended up leading to the only run that Kansas City has on the board, as Gordon scored from third on a bad throw from Jason Kipnis going behind him. They had him.
In the air, right field. Tyler Naquin makes the catch, 1 down. Let's take a look at our T-Mobile Hats Off to Heroes. And today we take a look at Larry Doby, who spent time in the U.S. Navy in World War II. Came to play with the Indians in the middle of the 1947 season, just weeks after Jackie Robinson broke in with the Dodgers in the National League. And in 1948, he batted .301 with 23 doubles, 14 homers for the last World Championship team that the Indians have had. He had his number 14 retired by the Indians on July 3rd, 1994. That was exactly 47 years after he became the first African American to play in the American League. 4 years later, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. And I just have to say that I was honored and privileged to be there that day to watch.
Well, Larry Doby was a terrific person and a great man.
He had just a very gracious manner about him for somebody who achieved so much and was such an important figure for so many people in baseball. You just think he was an average Joe. I mean, he didn't have any air about him that said, hey, I'm kind of a big deal. You know, none of that.
No.
He was just.
No, that was not within him. He was just a true gentleman. Very nice guy. Easy to talk to.
He passed away on June 18th, 2003. Eagle Avenue, which runs right behind the bleachers at Progressive Field, was renamed Larry Doby Way in 2012. And the next time you come to Progressive Field, outside Gate C, stop by and see Larry's statue. It's a great depiction of Larry Doby, and of course you also have the statues out there of Jim Thome and Bob Feller as well. Runner goes. Ground ball right at Alonso, and it gets under his glove. Escobar gets up and moves to third, and the Royals have something brewing now here in the 5th. 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
You know, I had a really sneaking suspicion because Butera, you know, he's not hitting very much, but you keep him on the baseball, then Escobar can run. You're getting back to the top of the lineup, and that's what you have to do. Put the ball on the ground. A beautiful hit and run executed right there by Escobar, Butera. They go 1st to 3rd, and now Trevor's got his work cut out because you're back to the top of the lineup with one of their better hitters. That is the key. You don't see it a lot anymore, the hit and run, but the key is the hitter hitting it on the ground. He hit it just hard enough to get it under the glove of Alonso, and it gets the man that started to third base.
Whit Merrifield has flied to center and struck out. But this will be a different at bat because he can smell an RBI and a chance to get the Royals right back in this game. They're only down 2. And Trevor Bauer with a great first pitch curveball for strike 1.
Well, and you noticed he threw that for a strike. It wasn't the wipeout one. He wants to get ahead of him. That's the one. Now let me get it over, because he knows Merrifield's looking for a ball he can slap the other way. A fastball. So he's up in the count now, 0-1.
Fastball up out of the zone, 1-1.
Probably just a show pitch to him here. Trevor wants to know who's covering. And a ball back to him if he wants to go for the double play. You may think twice because Merrifield can get down the line. Unless it's just a one hopper right back at you. You would think Escobar is going to be off and running if it is on the ground.
Missed outside with it. 2-1. Bottom of the 5th here in Kansas City in this 4th of July crowd. They want to see some action. The Royals have been stymied so far by Bauer. Hits it to right field. This will get a run home. Naquin makes the catch, and there are 2 down. And it's a 1-run game. As Escobar comes home, it's the 27th RBI for Whit Merrifield.
And a good piece of hitting by Merrifield, staying back on the breaking ball so Kansas City gets their sacrifice fly to get a run home.
And so with 2 down, Rosell Herrera to the plate. Herrera 5 hits in the series. Two and 0.
Trevor Bauer in his last 14 road starts, that goes back to last August. He has allowed 3 or fewer runs in each of those 14 starts. So he's one that keeps you in the ball game.
Balls and a strike. And he walked him. So now 2 on with 2 out. And Salvador Perez coming to the plate. Roberto Perez going to go for a visit. Perez tonight 1 for 2.
For First walk of the night for Bauer. You see him, the total through 5 innings, still trying to get this last out here in the 5th. Keep it a 1-run baseball game.
Good fastball in there for a strike. Gets ahead of him. Kind of a frustrating night for Bauer on some levels. In that second inning, he hit Gordon on the foot with a pitch, and he had a swinging bunt 25-foot single. The Indians made a defensive miscue on the double steal that allowed them to score a run. And now in this inning, a ball that's just under the glove of Alonso at first. It set him up first and third. Otherwise, you're 2 outs, and he's probably out of the inning by now.
Yes, sir. But the bottom part of the lineup has had a hand to doing both the runs being scored by Kansas City.
Outside, 1-2. Chased one on the dirt, inning over. Royals get a run closer. Through 5, it's 3-2 Cleveland.
Fans are going to receive a Jose Ramirez jersey. That'll be courtesy of Medical Mutual. Come on out early, go out to the district, have a good time. You can enjoy the pregame block party. Get your tickets at Indians.com. Oakland A's in town for a 3-game series. Big weekend, fireworks, everything going on.
Speaking of the Oakland A's, we just left the Coliseum in Oakland, where they're celebrating the anniversary of their 50th season in Oakland. And it's ironic that we go from there to here because they're celebrating 50 years of baseball with the Royals. And Charlie Finley was the owner of the Kansas City Athletics.
Right.
And he moved that team from Kansas City to Oakland in 1968. And this is a story that certainly Cleveland fans, Browns fans in particular, can relate to. After Finley moved the team to Oakland, people here were irate, including a prominent senator by the name of Stuart Symington. And he basically went to Major League Baseball and said, all right, I don't like what happened here with Finley taking his team and just ripping it out of Kansas City, taking it to Oakland. So you need to do right by us, or I'm going to go to Congress and introduce legislation to have your antitrust exemption removed.
Yeah.
And Major League Baseball decided they had already planned to expand in 1971, and they said, oh, let's move this expansion up to now. And Kansas City was awarded one of the 4 new teams that year. And Denny Matthews, the longtime voice of the Kansas City Royals, was telling me that Ewing Kauffman was a local businessman here in Kansas City. As Alonso goes down swinging for out number 1, he owned Marion Laboratories, which is a huge pharmaceutical company, and literally was a self-made guy. He started literally in the basement of his house, filling bottles with pills and taking them and selling them to medical facilities. And by the time they sold that company, they had almost $1 billion a year in revenue.
Wow.
But he was persuaded by a lot of his friends here in Kansas City to, hey, buy the team. And it was finally his wife who said, look, nobody knows who you are. You have one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Nobody knows your name. So he bought the team. But then he said that Ewing Kauffman was one of those guys who said, I'll buy the team. I'm going to hire the best baseball people I can, and I'm going to stay out of the way. And he was true to his word.
Man.
He hired a guy, and you may remember this name, Cedric Tallis, came from the Angels to be the Royals' first general manager. And Cedric Tallis was a very smart guy and realized a lot of the good players at that time were in the National League. So he traded almost exclusively with National League teams, and this is how he built the club. He traded Joe Foy to the Mets for Amos Otis after the '69 season.
Oh, AO.
Foy was out of baseball by '71. Traded with Pittsburgh to get Freddie Patek and Bruce Del Canton after the 1970 season. In '71, he traded for John Mayberry with Houston. Mayberry hit 25 homers and 100 RBIs in his first year with the Royals. In '72, he traded with the Reds to get Hal McRae, who was a 3-time All-Star.
Right.
He drafted George Brett in the second round in '71. In 1970, he got Frank White and built what would become a Royals dynasty here in Kansas City. The Indians go in order. We go to the last half of the 6th. It's 3-2 Royals.
savings and access to Tribe Rewards, and today's Tribe Rewards code is Bauer. Visit Indians.com for complete details.
Well, there's a man celebrating in grand style.
Whatever he's listening to, he's rocking out.
He is marching to the beat of his own drummer. Trevor Bauer working into the bottom of the 6th with a 1-run lead, facing the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Kansas City. Lucas Duda will lead it off. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Yeah, Denny Matthews has called Royals baseball since the beginning of the franchise in 1969.
Wow.
He came right out of college, first job working with the Royals.
How about that? And lasted all this time.
Yep.
And still a great guy. He doesn't do all the games. He can pick and choose now.
Yep.
But still doing Kansas City Royals.
There's Denny, the longtime voice of the Royals. He was telling me, he said, you know, it's amazing. Cedric Tallis, I mean, he literally built the foundation for what would be the Royals organization going forward. He started the Royals Baseball Academy.
Right.
All of
that was huge back then in those days.
And then he said, for some reason, he's not in the Royals Hall of Fame.
And you know what?
Imagine that. You know?
That's hard to believe because he should be. I don't know if you remember that baseball academy that was down in Florida, but it was something.
I remember hearing about it. It was a big
awesome.
deal.
Frank White was one of their first guys that went to their baseball academy back then. It was something really special in baseball, way ahead of their time.
Yeah. In addition, Cedric Tallis hired the following guys to work in the front office: John Sherholtz, Lou Gorman, Sid Thrift, Jack McKeon, and Herc Robinson.
And he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. The Royals Hall of Fame.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why not?
I said to Denny, I said, do you suppose it's just because as time passes on, people just forget about him,
Denny
maybe?
should be on the board to get him hired.
He probably should.
Or to get him in there. He would be a great spokesperson. He was there through it all.
Lucas Duda down on strikes. Trevor Bauer has fanned 7 now on the night. It's a good pitch. I mean, Trevor Bauer taking a pitch from the Royals' plan of attack against Indians hitters. Just tie him up inside. Don't give him any swinging room.
Well, and it's right there. You see that it started off right, maybe a ball width off the inside edge, and it just keeps going in. That's a true slider right there. That's vicious. That's a tough one to lay off of if you're a left-handed hitter.
He's punched out 155 prior to the break. Most since Sam McDowell in 1970. And there's a breaking ball. It's in for strike 1 to Jorge Bonifacio.
Yeah, when you're in the same breath as Sudden Sam coming to strikeouts, you're doing something pretty darn special.
Another swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Bonifacio struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, flied to right back in the 4th. 3 for 9 in the series. To center field, Greg Allen has it measured, makes the catch. 2 down.
Trevor, a guy you really never know what's coming, but as always, he has a good curveball tonight. And a low heater right there. I mean, he knows how to set hitters up, but the key is getting ahead of them, and he has done that tonight. He's led a couple of hitters back into the count, but he's only walked 1. He struck out 7. He's allowed 5 hits, but not all hit hard. You know, a couple infield hits, and you know, they're lucky to have a run. They really are. Out of the 2, they're lucky to have 1 run.
The slider has really been effective for him tonight at times.
Now here's the difference maker pitch, the 1-1 pitch. And this is something that Trevor's done this year where he's been able to throw this pitch for a strike to get up and go 1-2. and then go to work with hitters.
Wow. That's a good-looking
Yes,
fastball.
it is.
Just missed.
It's okay. It might have been a ball width off the plate inside. There it is, but it's really a good pitch. When you miss, you got to miss in off the plate. You don't want to leave it out over there and let hitters take good hacks at it. He comes right back and throws a good fastball away.
Two down, and the 2-2 pitch is fouled off by Gordon. He stays alive.
That was his changeup, and it was you know, harder than I think most of the times. That was at 89.
And strike 3 called with a breaking ball ends the inning. 8 Ks for Trevor Bauer. The Royals go 1-2-3, and after 6, the Indians lead it 3-2. Your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Beautiful night here in Kansas City. It's hot, though. It was 92 at game time with a heat index of 100. Roberto Perez will lead off for the Indians here in the 7th. Heath Fellmeyer working out of the bullpen, has retired 6 of the 7 hitters he has faced. It's been a weird game in that the Indians, it looked like it was going to be a rout. They scored 2 in the first, another run in the second. But now into the 7th inning, they only have 2 hits.
I know it. Well, this is wrapping up a long trip. They scored early. They had a 3-0 lead, but right now is the time you want to really try and get back. Kansas City scored 2 unanswered. And well, they gave us 1. We gave them 1.
Ground ball, or rather a foul ball over toward the Indians dugout. Three-two, bounce to third. Dozier slings it across, one down. Let's pause right now for a word from Circle K.
Polar Pop Cup, just 79 cents every day, only at Circle K.
One down for Greg Allen. Sacrifice fly drove home the last run for the Indians in the second inning. The Indians' outfield has been a revolving door, with the exception of Michael Brantley. But center field and right field, Terry Francona has really had to work a number of different players in and out of the lineup. Greg Allen, Bradley Zimmer, Tyler Naquin, Ronnie Chisenhall, and Rajay Davis, Brandon Geyer. I mean, it just, and you've had so many of those players have been in and out of the lineup because of injuries. And it's really interesting as we get closer to the trading deadline. I mean, it's July now. I mean, the clock is ticking toward the trading deadline at the end of the month. Our buddy Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports, he believes that the Indians and the Diamondbacks have the best opportunity to make a deal with Baltimore for Manny Machado. But that in and of itself creates an interesting dynamic. Like, well, okay, where does he go? Where does he fit? How do you move people around to make that work? If that were even to come to pass.
Right. Well,
but with the outfield situation, it does make you wonder if, you know, is that a point of opportunity for the Indians to look at in the trade market?
It certainly should be.
I think ideally
they could use another bat or two. They could use a bullpen guy or two, depending on what's going on with Andrew Miller.
Well, that would be my question to both of you after this pitch. With what you just said, Arch, and Francisco Mejia has heated up finally down in Columbus. He's been playing a little left field. He's been playing a little right field. We know that he can catch. I don't think they want him at third base. Did you think that they would want to see him before they start
Well, he's
moving?
not big league ready to play the outfield.
Well,
you play in the minor leagues doesn't mean you can play it up here at this level. That's for sure.
Then I would go to Yandy Diaz, who's been playing some first base down in Columbus. They've been trying to help him see what they have with him hitting-wise in the infield. And then the other thing I would say, Matt, if they're talking to Baltimore, if what Ken is saying is true, wouldn't you think they would be talking to them about some of the relievers that they have there in the last year of their contract?
Andre, you know, look, these guys have more conversations than we could even wrap our brain around. They exchanged probably hundreds of names over the course of several months. Now, whether any of those conversations lead to anything of substance is a different matter altogether, but they're always talking, always exchanging ideas. But we might have some answers in the next coming weeks. Well, right now it's the 7th inning stretch, and on this beautiful 4th of July, we're going to pause for the singing of God Bless America from U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Michelle Doolittle.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the
we go now to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom third of the order for Kansas City here. Hunter Dozier, Alcides Escobar, Drew Butera.
Trevor Bauer sitting at 88 pitches now, starting the 7th inning.
Fastball just misses for ball 1. Swung on and missed at a breaking ball. Fastball just perfectly placed on the outside corner. 1-2. Weak ground ball hit the short. Lindor throws it out, 1 away. There's our great clip of the game from last night. Cody Allen notching the save. It's his 17th of the year. But he is now tied for the all-time lead in saves in franchise history.
Oh, and soon to take over. Because if this game stays like this, he's going to get an opportunity again tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The beauty of Cody Allen in the eyes of Terry Francona goes back to when he started and had the job here. He says their bullpen had Chris Perez and they had Vinny Pastano and Joe Smith, and when they called him up, he put him into the fireman role, if you guys remember, where he would kind of be that wild card guy that he'd bring in the 6th inning or the 5th inning or the 7th inning to kind of put out the big fire at the time. And he says that was a role that they used with Daniel Bard in Boston. And he told me, so there are not a lot of guys that can do that job, because nowadays when you get called up and you're a bullpen guy, if the splits don't work right, if you can't pitch with people on base, if you walk guys, all of those are reasons why a lot of times you can't become a guy that pitches deep into the game or late in the game. And he said from day one, Cody Allen was ready to do that. And he says, and that's what made him the closer that he is today. He says he knew right away when he took over that fireman role, he remembered looking around his staff saying, I think this might be a guy that we can have at the back end at some point in time.
It certainly is a mentality.
Boy, Trevor Bauer is going to fly through the 7th inning.
Outstanding.
He has retired 7 straight. And we go to the 8th with the Indians up 3-2. 70 degrees? Wow.
It'll be a welcome sight.
Oh, yeah. Be refreshing, huh?
Yes, it will.
Look forward to seeing you boys on Friday night when the Indians return home, but work still to do here in Kansas City. Tim Hill, left-hander, on in relief for the Royals. Brantley trying to bunt his way aboard, fouls it off. Michael doubled in a run in the first inning, his 500th career RBI. Indians built a 3-0 lead. The Royals have scored 2 to close the gap to a single run, but it has been a game where offense is hard to come by. The Indians have just 2 hits tonight. Brantley's RBI double in the first, and Jason Kipnis with a leadoff double in the fourth. Tribe benefited from 3 walks in the first 2 innings. A couple of sacrifice flies. Nobody up in the Cleveland bullpen, so it looks like it will be Trevor Bauer back out for the 8th. Brantley is swinging a miss, and it's 2-2. Michael extended his streak of 5 consecutive games with a hit. He has 6 hits and 21 at bats over the last 5 games now. Just missed. Butera was trying to frame it back over the plate, but it was outside, full count. Tim Hill gives you that sidearm look as a left-hander.
There used to be more of those guys around. Not many, but
leadoff walk.
Doesn't do you that good to throw down there if you don't throw strikes.
It's the 5th walk of the night for Royals pitching, and Ed Yost can only mutter to himself. Well, Tim Hill, interesting that he got his first career win and first career save this year. The last Royals pitcher to do that was Kelvin Herrera back in 2012. Hill's last time out did not go well. He gave up a walk, a single, and a 3-run homer in the 9th.
Ouch.
In Milwaukee on June 27th. Hasn't pitched since.
Well, and then you come out here and you're getting another opportunity. You don't want to walk the left-hander you're coming in to get out, because then you flip Ramirez over to the right side. Now, if you get those 2 guys on and you've got Encarnacion coming up.
Uh-oh. They might get out of this with a double play. Do they get the out? Yes. Tribe catches a bit of a break because that looked tailor-made to turn 2.
It was a bad throw from Dozier. See, it takes him off the bag, and he had to make sure that he wasn't sure he was on the bag, although he was. He wanted to make sure I get that first out. Dozier not normally a third baseman, so that throw, you really can't blame him. He's transitioning into playing a little bit of third base. Played first last night, so that throw not on time, or it would have been a routine double play. It should have been.
Yeah, Mike Moustakas probably turns that in sleep, but he had back spasms that took him out of the lineup last night, and again not in there today. Edwin bats. They keep the lefty in there to face him. With a runner at first and 1 out. And the reason I imagine that they keep him in there is because you got 3 left-handed hitters to follow.
Absolutely. And you see, he was just went inside that first pitch, and then Butera, I like that call.
Edwin pops one right field down the line. It's a fair ball and caught. And 2 down. World Cup quarterfinals kick off Friday on FS1. First, you've got France against Uruguay. Then Brazil takes on Belgium. World Cup quarterfinals starting at 9 a.m. Eastern on FS1, or you can stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app. Here's Yonder Alonso, 0 for 3, has struck out twice.
This will be interesting. Let's see from the stretch when you have a guy that can run a little bit, even though he's left-handed. You know, when you come back, you can't have a good move to first base. Can you when you throw from down underneath? There you go. Take off.
Swing and a miss. Throw down. And he's called out.
They'll hold on. They'll hold on and wait.
Ramirez saying no, no, no.
That could be true. It looked like it got around his foot. Escobar is looking down there. We'll get a look at it. That's the first
Tito
thing
will
I thought.
challenge it.
I think he's safe because watch where he tags him. He gets in there. There's the ball coming. There's the hand hit it. He's safe, and he gets him around the foot. I'm not sure. He hasn't tagged him yet. So there you go. There's daylight. So he's going to be called safe. Give him another stolen base. That'll be 3 on the night. 2 for Ramirez. This shouldn't take long at all.
That was really quick. I'll tell you, whoever's at the controls, they're not messing around.
Well, they want to get out to the
they want to see
fireworks and hot dogs. They're saying hurry up.
Second steal of the game for Ramirez. Now a team leading 17 on the year. He said, I told you so. And so an opportunity for Yonder Alonso to drive in a run here. This could be really big for the Tribe. They haven't scored since the second.
They only have 2 hits tonight. One in the first, and it came off of a double off Brantley's bat, and Kipnis hit a double to lead off the 4th, and that is it as far as the hits go. They've walked 6 times. Trevor Oakes walked 4. Phil Meyer walked 1 in his 3 innings of work, and Hill walked the first guy he faced.
The 0-1. Fouled out of play.
Well, you see, he's been getting very good jumps over there, consciously running. So he gets down there in a hurry, and he now leads the team with 17.
I believe Lindor's time was 3.71. He was 3.61. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out. It remains a 1-run Indians lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Indians are trying to do something that they have not accomplished since 1973. Win a game on the road on the 4th of July. They're 0-11 since a 5-2 win at Old Tiger Stadium in Detroit in 1973.
Hard to believe it's only been 11 road games since 1973, but that's what they are.
So the math would be what? That's 34 games at home on the 4th of July, right? Yeah, 45. Yeah. So in the last 45 years, 34 of those years, they've been at home. Wow.
Well, and Trevor Bauer had a really good 7th inning to come back out here for the 8th. And they would like to, Tito would like to just have Bauer bridge his own gap to the bullpen.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, a little
late.
I think his arm got stuck in something.
Maybe in Roberto's strap on the back of his chest protector there. Whit Merrifield 0 for 2 did drive in a run with a sac fly in the 5th. That made it a 1-run game.
Yeah, he hit a good curveball after Trevor had him down in the count. Took it to right field. Key here, keep him off base. That leadoff man can get him out.
2-2. Three-one offering. Down the left field line, trouble. It's fair. Merrifield into second base with a leadoff double on a ball hit right on the chalk.
Well, he wasn't going to walk him, and he had to throw him a strike. It's a fastball right there. It was a good one to hit. Merrifield, he did what he was supposed to do with it. You see that ball just inside the chalk to left field. He'll get his 24th double. And now we have some action in this inning. Kansas City, man on second, nobody out. Let's see how they play it.
Herrera, you got to imagine he'll be bunting. But maybe not.
No, you never know. Now with a team that's been struggling to score, we'll see.
Pulls the bat back, takes it for ball one. If Herrera bunts, he wants to make Ramirez field the ball.
Yes, he does. You force him to field the ball because he's going to hold his position, and Bauer's going to break off the mound to third baseline and try and get the play, and Ramirez could go back. But now you've got a very good base runner at second base, so the key here is to get an out. See, you have Alonso, he was rushing in at first base, and they brought it back and he let him swing.
Yeah, Roberto Perez was actually motioning to Alonso to break in. And then Herrera took a full cut.
Yeah, you don't do that. I mean, you still want your teeth when you're leaving the game tonight. I mean, if it was a pitcher up there or something, a little different, but not when the guy's left-handed. He can pull a ball. You never know.
He squares. Takes, and it looked like a strike.
Okay.
But it was called a ball.
Yeah, he asked. Trevor wanted them to ask the third base ump, which he did.
I mean, the pitch itself is a strike.
It looked like it did.
The problem is Herrera's back foot's out of the box, and he might have blocked the umpire out.
See, Trevor just wanted clearance. He could very well could have, because that was not a bad pitch. But you also think that, you know, with Perez's body coming up, he could block out the umpire as well. That was not a bad pitch.
Out of play, it's 2-2.
You know, I'm all for it, man. If you either want him to bunt or you want him to go. But watch it. See, that foot's behind home plate. If he's on home plate, it's going to be out.
That almost hit him. He was out of the box and almost hit him on the back leg.
Well, you know he's going to be swinging now. Merrifield too with that breaking ball could, if he sees it, he could try and steal third.
To left field.
Beautiful sequence.
Brantley is there.
Really good job by Bauer to get the out without advancing the runner. Didn't let him pull the ball through that little breaking ball away. And when you watch it, even though he didn't get a pitch that was a strike called a ball, he came back. You know, he was going to bunt the first pitch. They took it off. He fouled it off. They were going to bunt the second pitch. It was called a ball. He comes back and throws 2 strikes after that to get the first out.
Salvador Perez swings at the first pitch and fouls it out of play to the right. Throw down, they got him. Oh, what a throw, what a tag, inning over. I'm sorry, 2 down, my bad, 2 down, but why would Whit Merrifield?
He thought he could get there, and he had a good pitch to throw on. Maybe he felt he was going to throw a breaking ball in that count, and all of a sudden, he had a good jump, but it's a great pitch to throw on, and Perez up to the task and throws him out. That you don't want to see, but he's just trying to get his way to third base, man. They've been struggling to score runs. Good job. Perez throws him out. The second one they've caught tonight.
And there's a base hit up the middle. Isn't that the way it always happens?
Sure does. He's had 2 hits tonight, both about that same location.
Yeah. Straight up the middle.
This is the play of the game right here. Tying run. He's trying to get himself 90 feet away, and Perez up to the occasion, makes a perfect throw, and he gets him.
Looks like Terry Francona is going to go to the bullpen here with the left-handed hitting Lucas Duda due up. He's going to go to the left-hander Oliver Perez. Terrific effort once again by Trevor Bauer here tonight. He'll leave after going 7 2/3, allowing 2 runs on 7 hits. He leaves with the lead.
quickly Perez gets rid of that ball. That one was about a second and a half. And I mean, he steps behind as Perez is in the box, and you can see he's trying to sort of block him even though he's in that batter's box. And just a really good, very quick throw, and he had a good pitch to throw on. But boy, very big play in this ball game.
Oliver Perez on to face Lucas Duda here. And he just misses outside for ball one. Duda fouling it off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See how deep the outfield is because they're choosing not to pinch run for Perez at first base. You can put your outfielders deep because, you know, he's not going to score on a ball because it's not going to get to the gap. I don't think.
The 1-2.
Perez faced Duda last night, ended up getting him out, but he got ahead of him, and Duda did a good job of not chasing the pitches out of the strike zone. He got him to fly out to right field.
The 2-2. And a foul ball down the left side. And Roberto wants to go out and have a chat. Roberto Perez from Puerto Rico, Oliver Perez from Mexico. The 2-2. Got him looking at a fastball in the outside corner, and that will end the inning. So the Royals get a leadoff double, but the Indians work around it. And we go to the ninth, 3-2 Cleveland. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. (3-2) Cleveland, ninth inning. Willie Peralta coming out to pitch for the Royals. He worked an inning in last night's game, gave up 1 hit, struck out a bat. He'll be facing Jason Kipnis, Tyler Naquin, and Roberto Perez. Cody Allen is getting ready in the Cleveland bullpen. And unless the Indians erupt for a big inning, he has a chance at history. Cody Allen, if indeed it is a save situation, will attempt to set a new franchise record for saves. Jason Kipnis walked and scored the last run for the Indians in the second inning. And he doubled in the fourth. One of only 2 hits the Indians have on the night. Rosel Herrera makes the catch. 1 away. Our storylines, as we recap them, brought to you by your Ford dealers. KC masterpiece Francisco Lindor has owned the Royals this year, but tonight they've kept him off the bases with the exception of a leadoff walk in the first when he also stole a base, came around to score the first run of the game, and he leads the league in runs scored. And Trevor Bauer did nothing to hurt his cases for an all-star nod.
Yeah, once again on the road. Just 2 runs allowed. That's 15 starts dating back to last August, allowing 3 or less.
Tyler Naquin, last one to deep right field, but it's caught by Bonifacio, 2 down. And it's going to bring up Roberto Perez. Yeah, you know, I wanted to look that up, Arch. Francisco Lindor not only leads the league, he leads baseball in runs scored. I was just looking in the National League. I think Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves.
Right.
Yeah, he leads the National League with 66 runs. Lindor scored 75 now.
75, and this is game number 85. So he's almost scored a run per game.
Instant offense.
Which is truly incredible, and that's what he takes a lot of pride in. He says, if I'm doing my job, I will score runs, I will set the offense, the tempo, and he certainly does.
Roberto takes a low pitch for a strike. He doesn't like the call. He's in the hole. 0 for 2 on the night. Fireworks are going off all around the ballpark. Ground ball single up the middle, and that's going to snap an 0 for 11 for Roberto Perez as he reaches with a 2-out single here in the ninth. That gives the Indians their 3rd hit of the ball game. Greg Allen is 0 for 2. He drove in the last run of the game for the Tribe. It was his sacrifice fly that scored Jason Kipnis in the second inning. Because of the local fireworks shows that are going on, there's a
little haze
coming
on.
Haze blowing through the ballpark now.
That's the marine layer. Yeah, it's that smoke from the fireworks. And they will be following tonight's game here in Kansas City.
Yeah, they'll have their own fireworks show here coming up shortly. But literally just out beyond the outfield walls, you can see various displays of fireworks going off all over the place. Here's the 0-2. And a base hit into right field for Greg Allen on an 0-2 pitch. So the bottom of the order gives Francisco Lindor another at bat.
Yeah, with 2 outs, back-to-back singles from Perez and Allen. This one down low enough, that's where he likes it, and he lines it into right field. And the last 2 guys have as many hits as they had all night long, so that gives them 4 for the evening.
Oh, it bounces away, and the runners will both advance. So Roberto goes to third, and Greg Allen goes to second on the wild pitch.
And what do you do now? I mean, now that the wild pitch thrown and 2 runners move up, do you take the chance? Do you walk Lindor and try and get at Michael Brantley, or you try and make a pitch or spike another curveball like he did? That could be another run. He's going to let him go at him.
One ball, one strike. Base hit, scores a pair as Butera goes out.
He just wants to make sure, you know, they're on the same page. You don't want to make a mistake here. It's a 1-run ball game. You have first base open. You have one of the hottest hitters going, you know, in the game right now. You have to, if you're Kansas City, the way their offense has been going, keep this a 1-run game.
Either Ned Yost just has great confidence in Peralta that he can make the pitch and get Lindor, or he feels like, hey, Michael Brantley's no walk in the park either.
Absolutely. That's so true.
Ground ball to short, backhanded by Escobar. His throw is on the money. And so we go to the bottom of the 9th with Cody Allen and a date with destiny. It's a pretty big one in the 8th inning. Roberto Perez throwing out Whit Merrifield, who had hit a leadoff double. That was the tying run. And he tried to steal third, and Roberto wiped him out.
Yeah, he had a good fastball. It came up and in, and it was easy for him to get up and get behind the hitter and make a good throw. And he got rid of that ball in a 2.5 seconds. So he really did a nice job. Quick feet, and that transfer worked that time.
And so now it's Cody Allen trying to become the Indians' all-time saves leader. Jorge Bonifacio, Alex Gordon, Hunter Dozier to bat for Kansas City here in the bottom of the 9th. Bonifacio takes the first pitch strike. Cody Allen got his first save back in 2013. He is already the franchise leader in relief appearances. This is 422 upstairs. Four straight seasons of at least 24 saves, most in club history. Here's a strike, 2-2. And over the last 3 seasons, only Cody Allen, Kenley Jansen, and Craig Kimbrell have saved 30 games in each of the last 3 seasons. And the 2-2. Breaking ball fouled back. Now the 2-2. Threw it by him, strikes him out, 1 down.
Elevated the fastball, ran it inside. Made a really good pitch. Look at Perez sitting away. This one went the exact opposite. It went from the lower down at the knees outside where he was sitting. That ball took off and went inside, and it looked like it was going to be a strike anyway. So gets out number 1 with a strikeout.
A bit high, and Alex Gordon lays off the fastball. Gordon hit by a pitch in the second, came around to score the first Royals run tonight. He has also popped to third and struck out looking in the 6th. Fouled back. Cody Allen has pitched in every situation imaginable. And he has pitched on the biggest stage in the most pressure-packed of environments. You name it, he's been there. World Series, on the road, strike call. And I remember there were a couple of times in that 2016 run where it was dicey. You know, he's out there pitching.
Fenway Park was one.
Fenway Park, there's runners on base, there's action. The 1-2. I mean, you're sitting there watching the game and your heart is in your throat.
It's tougher to watch than it is to be out there and play. It really is. Sometimes everybody's on the edge of their seats, especially when you get to playoff baseball.
2-2. Gordon yanks it deep right. It's going to get down. It'll be a double. And the tying run is in scoring position with 1 out in the 9th.
Gordon hit a breaking ball here. Let's see where it's located. Right there. It's a good pitch to hit. It speeds up his bat. That's why he pulled it. Drove it down into the corner. Got it past Tyler Naquin. So the tying run is on second base with 1 out. For Gordon, that's his 8th double of the year.
But this is where a guy like Cody Allen maybe separates himself from so many other pitchers who want to be closers, who want to be in this situation. When he gets into this type of a situation, I mean, usually when you're coming in to save a game, it's tense the whole time you're in there, especially in a 1-run game. But then it can elevate in an anxiety a little bit higher when you get runners on base and in scoring position. But regardless, he's always able to maintain that calm demeanor on the mound. And he told me before, look, it just comes down to, simple as it sounds, it's about focusing on the pitch. All I can control is right here, this pitch. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about the crowd, runners on base. Just execute this pitch. Swung out and missed. He blows it by him. It's 0-2. And you also have to have the ability to know that if your last name isn't Rivera, you're going to have some rough days at the office.
Everybody does, and rightfully so. This is not an easy game. And you're in there in the pressure situations. You know, they only remember when you fail. And, you know, they take it for granted when you succeed.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 2 down.
He wasted no time there, did he?
So it comes down to Alcides Escobar, who is 1 for 3. He scored the Royals' last run of this game in the 5th.
Well, he wasted no time. He just went at him with 3 heaters. And let's go. Next. That was it. He located those. They were down. They were away. But he has 1 out to go.
And Alcides Escobar takes a strike. Fastball on the outside corner. The 0-1. Swung out and miss. And of course, you also have to remember his save totals do not include the 7 postseason saves that he had. In 3, he saved 3 of the 4 games in the ALCS that sent the Indians onto the World Series in 2016. Now he's 1 strike away. Did he go?
Yes, he did.
He struck him out. The game is over. And Cody Allen is the Indians' all-time franchise save leader, number 140. He strikes out 3 in the 9th, and the Indians hang on for a 3-2 win. They finish the road trip 5-4 as they sweep all 3 here in Kansas City. And they'll come home with a 4-game win streak intact, a season-high 11 games over 500 now at 48-37. And the Indians' lead in the Central Division is now 11.5 games. Trevor Bauer gets the win. He's 8-6. And for Cody Allen on the year, it's his 18th save. The loss goes to Trevor Oaks. He's now 0-2.